You can talk to the dead. Anyone can talk to the dead. This is kind of an emotional episode for me to make, and that's okay. But what if you could go back and talk to your loved ones? You can. It's this power that exists within everyone. You have deep ties to your ancestors. You're actually this miracle of existence, this stunning mathematical improbability. How many millions upon millions of things had to happen for you to be born? It's this cause and effect that happened going back hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of years. And your ancestors live within you as part of you. It's your DNA, it's your blood, but it's beyond all of that. This isn't just speaking to the dead. They will also hear you. They will respond to you. Let's start with this simple way to look at it. Maybe you're like, this dude is crazy. There's no way that I can talk to the dead. What if theoretically I grant you that for just a second before we move on? I would ask, so what if they can't hear you? Would you be able to hear yourself? And of course you'd say to yourself, yeah, I can hear myself if I spoke out loud. We don't often acknowledge it, but the spoken word has great power. The things that you say, even to yourself, have this power. Maybe especially the things that you say to yourself have even more power than the things that you say to other people. Bruce Lee said, don't speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke. Your body doesn't know the difference. Words are energy, and they cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. Change the way you speak about yourself, and you can change your life. And I'd say Bruce Lee definitely understands the power of words. That's a beautiful quote. And I had this army captain that worked with me in Afghanistan. He was attached to our unit. He lived with us in our compound, and he was responsible for coordinating between our unit and his unit. And he used to always tell people, just walking around, he would always say, words mean things. And I always thought that was a beautiful thing that he said, because words do mean things. But going back to Bruce Lee, I think that he also understood the power that you have within. Not me, not anyone else, but you. And that's magic. It's not this supernatural magic, it's perfectly natural. Magic is belief, it's intention, it's focus, it's being open. These are all things that lead to you being able to have magic within you. I'm not bringing you this as some abstract idea. It's like I lost my grandma Clara 3 different times. She developed Alzheimer's and dementia very early in her life, and so she was kind of lost to me before it was time. And then I kind of grew up and I left and I went to war for years and I didn't see her. At one point when I was in Afghanistan, I was there for 6 consecutive years without ever coming home. And so when I came home, she no longer knew me. She didn't know who I was. I'd been gone for too long and the disease was so advanced that she couldn't remember who I was. And then I lost her again that 3rd time when she passed away a couple of years ago. And I look back and think about my grandma, and I think that she would have listened to me. She would have understood me. But the thing I know now is that she does understand me, and she's still with me. And that's this beautiful, loving thing. And we can feel that ancestral love. I encourage you to feel the love from your ancestors, from your loved ones in the past. Not in some attachment to these past things. This isn't a situation where that you can't let go or you can't get out of it. It's not this negative thing. This is this positive, loving thing. Let that love wash over you and fill you up. If we are the universe, so are they, our loved ones from the past. Said another way, if I am that and you are that, we are that. So we're all part of this universal oneness. And if you're open to the universe, you receive the things that you need. Your ancestors are part of this universal system. Before we move on, please subscribe by hitting the watermark in the lower right-hand corner. And if you think this video might help friends or family, please share it with them. Different cultures and different historical periods have approached and been comfortable speaking to the dead. Ancient Egyptians believed in this intricate afterlife where communicating with the dead was integral to their spiritual and religious practices. They used rituals and spells from the Book of the Dead to aid in communicating with the souls in the afterlife. In the 19th century, Victorian spiritualism became popular with seances and mediums that were used to communicate with spirits that reflected this fascination with the afterlife. And a lot of that has continued on in what we now know as modern New Age spirituality, but its roots go way back into the 1800s. Many Native American cultures hold rituals to honor and communicate with their ancestors, believing that their continued presence and guidance is happening in the spiritual realm, and that they can tap into that, they can connect to it. And you see the same in other indigenous spiritual practices around the world. Cultures like China and Japan, ancestor worship is a key practice, with rituals and ceremonies to honor and communicate with deceased family members. Confucius was an important figure in promoting the respect and importance of ancestors. In fact, we have a really good video about Confucius and other things that he taught along these lines, and if you want to check that out, you can hit the watermark in the upper right-hand corner. The Celts believed in a thin veil between the worlds of the living and the dead, especially during a certain festival where the dead were believed to return to Earth. The ancient Greeks had rituals for necromancy where they summoned and communicated with spirits of the dead, often seeking guidance and prophecy. In Hinduism, there's a ritual performed to provide solace to the souls of ancestors, with offerings and prayers to maintain a harmonious connection with the deceased. Again, we see that connection with the deceased keep coming back up. It's that idea of communing with them, communicating, being one with them. The Mexican Day of the Dead is a vibrant celebration involving families welcoming back the souls of their deceased relatives for a brief reunion with food, drink, and festivities. It's a joyous thing. And going back to the indigenous realm, we see shamanistic practices all over the world. Many shamanistic cultures across the globe involve communication with spirits and ancestors as part of healing and guidance rituals. We have a great video on African religion and spirituality if you're interested in learning more about how they look at ancestors and their role in their present-day lives. We see this communication with the dead in dance, song, poems, written word, meditation, chanting, and other rituals. And these are, again, from cultures and philosophies from all around the world and across time. This is not something that's frozen in time or from one specific place. It's fairly ubiquitous across the whole planet. And this all takes you to a special place. When you speak to the dead, you're releasing love and energy back to them. This feeds the universal cycle of balance and can be a great and freeing process for you. It's going to lead you to not just lifting up yourself, but now the whole world around you is going to be brighter. You're going to be more plugged into the universe, and you're going to realize that you're connected with everything, not just the dead, but all these living things. You're going to realize that you aren't in nature. You are nature. You are a part of it. You're within it. And I say that frequently on this channel because it's so important, that universal oneness of everything. I'd encourage you to embrace love and understanding. Focus on the positive remembrance rather than negative attachment to your loved ones that are past. My grandma Pauline, on the other side of the family, used to write me every week. It didn't matter if I was in Kuwait or Iraq or Afghanistan or Texas. The letters always came. And at the time, I didn't think I had time to write her back. I thought I was too busy. And when I finally came back home, I didn't write her back because I thought I was too injured, and I thought I was too hurt in this place of healing, that I was too consumed by it. And that's okay. I have to forgive myself for that, and I have to let it go. Just as you've got to forgive yourself for those things that happened and that you're attached to from the past. Because those things get in the way if you're trying to communicate with your ancestors, with those people who have passed on. And then you're coming from a perspective of love. And love really is everything. And have that grace for yourself, and then carry that grace and love through in your communication with those loved ones that you're communicating with in the past. Turn this into a reality. We're just in the introductory phase of getting into this. So don't be intimidated by it, and simply resolve that this is possible and that you believe. Belief is this crazy thing that powers so much while you're on this overall spiritual journey. What works for me might not work for you. And so for some people, it could be just sitting in a chair And you might just be talking out loud and starting a conversation with someone who has passed. And it could be a spoken conversation. Some people may journal and write to their ancestors and loved ones. You might meditate as part of this ritual. There could be an altar where you have a picture of your loved one from the past and maybe even some of their belongings. It's really this highly individualistic thing, and only you will know what works best for you. But make it a fluid process, and remember to stay open to the universe. We've talked about that already, but it really is important. Because if you're open to the universe, you're not just speaking to your ancestors and loved ones, but then now they're going to be able to speak back to you. It might be words, it could be a sign or something that you see, something that you feel. They may send you exactly what you need in the moment that you need it the most. And you may not even realize it, but they're watching and they're still a part of you. And it's way more complicated than all of this, and this could probably be a whole series of videos. But at the same time, it really is this simple. And I would ask you as you move forward to embrace that simplicity. I encourage you all to explore your feelings on this. It's a complicated subject. What speaks to you when you think about communicating with the dead? How do you see the power of your ancestors and how they live within you today? What are you going to do to speak with your ancestral past? Please let me know in the comments and I will absolutely respond. It's about having a conversation. For a peaceful and open-minded community where people can share their journeys and be themselves, where we have conversations just like this, please visit kishar.org. Please like this video if you want us to keep making content just like this. And until next time, I wish you peace on your journey.